Saturday, eh? Little bit late, little bit early. Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomp like you've never before. Chomp like you spent the night with a whore. Chomp in the morning, chomp in the evening. Chomp till you still can't feel your teeth bleeding. Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomping is good, chomping is really nice. Chomping with sugar is nice, but it's better when you chomp with the spice. Chomp, 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 join in, chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp like you used to when you're at school. Chomp like you're playing with a ball. Chomp with a fishing rod and a crab. Chomp with anyone, one of your lads. Chomp with a lady, chomp with a man. Chomp with a fish pan, chomp with a can. I don't care how you chomp as long as you just chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp. Can you believe I actually took out one of these so that I could stay in the correct pitch? All right. I really hope you enjoyed the Chomp song. It took me a long time to write that, to compose the lyrics. I didn't make that up on the spot or nothing. Hi, Alan, you're not working today. I know that. I'm not either. I have actually got to do some work. I'll give you my weekend. Hang on a minute. Alan's not working. Hope he's not jerking. He's sitting at home, and I know he likes it alone. But hopefully, by the end of the day, he'll look in the mirror and say, "I'm not a gay." Not that there's anything right with that. Alan's a mate, and we all know that. He comes to the streams and the private ones, looks at everyone else and he says, "Who are these bums? Bums, bums, bums. Don't chomp bums." Sorry, I knew it was going to "don't chomp bums" before I got there. So nice one, Alan. Appreciate. It's tickling me. Come on, it's Saturday morning. If a man can't have a song in his heart, there you go. That's all that counted. Nice one. Thank you, Alan. If a man can't have a chomp, not even a chomp. I don't even know why I've got chomp in my head. I've eaten, but that was hours ago. Right, let me get the grift doors open. Bosh. I tell you what. I watched Salty Cracker last night. Incredible. He's so excellent. Now, I have to say, streaming is his channel is his full-time job. His wife produces it. And, you know, that's brilliant because he's the big fish at the moment. For me, Salty Cracker's the best because he's riding that fine line where normies will flock to him. And that's enough. That's enough at the moment. I really think that's enough at the moment. Not because other things don't need to happen, but he understands. He understands where he is. He understands the limits of his enclosure. And there's only certain things you can do there, and he does it well. And because he's got such a big audience, when he feels himself, and he does push it, he will get banned from YouTube at some point, I'm sure. I mean, no, maybe not. He's pretty good, but when he feels himself going over the edge, he says, "Right, I'll see you over on Odyssey now." And then, you know, not a paywall. He just says it's time. You know, the old mouth's going into overdrive. Yeah, I saw him yesterday. At one point, he had nearly 12,000 people watching him. Right. At one point, he asked them to stop donating. This isn't a jealousy or bitter. I have about 120 people max. He had 11,000, but fuck me. And this is good. It's good. People are like, "Bosh, 100, 50, 20, 50, 100, 20. It's like that. Good. That's encouraging. You know, fucking amazing. And at one point he said, "No more, no more." And how encouraging is that people want to support that content? Because I like him. He's my age. He's very entertaining. and he's also got the time to do the research. You know, he must watch so much. He must watch so much news. Yes, it's a news reading channel, but his angle, and that's what it's all about, is excellent. If you don't watch Salty Cracker live, you should do. It's a blast, because it's not just fucking misery. He's careful to put plenty of hope, a lot of hope in there, which is essential. You lose hope, it's over. It's over. Right. Speaking of which, I've got a few things to look at. I'm sure we'll say and search, but I've got a good few things to look at. I watched Unforgiven yesterday, written, produced, and acted lead role Clint Eastwood. What a man Clint Eastwood is. Look at his history. Look at the movies he's been in, the movies he's written and produced. Yeah, there's a couple of bad ones in there, but when you're making that kind of amount, and Unforgiven is beautiful. I'm a little bit reluctant to talk about it, because last night after I watched it, I thought, fuck it, I'll make a review now. I'll do a review of this movie now. And it was like R4 in the morning. I thought, you know, recording, editing, uploading, condensing, uploading on Facebook, YouTube. Before I know it, it'll be 6 a.m. And I woke up late today anyway, so I thought, nah, I might do it later. I've still got to edit that SUBSTACK story. I don't want my weekend to be too busy. We know what happened last weekend. But Unforgiven, you know, there's something amazing about the tropes of a good Western. You know, there's some really subtle stuff going on. One of the things, one of my favorite movies ever, you know, I don't like favorites, but I suppose you can have favorites as long as they're transient, as long as they're, you know, you don't just say, I love that one and I always will, because you're changing. And so your response to something's going to change. I still do love The Deer Hunter, but it's the second half that's worth watching. But the thing about, like, one of my favorite movies is Once Upon a Time in the West. For me, it just nails the Western. It nails that whole idea of what a Western is. And early on, with your sort of spaghetti Westerns, you know, they weren't trying to get Western tropes in. They were trying to make films, but you know, there was almost like a, not natural, but an awareness of the content. And so Westerns that have come after those kind of films have sort of developed those, but the sense of space and the sense of time, there's all that space and time is really, really important to Westerns. You know, I don't just mean the time it's set in, but the idea of the passing of time, the idea of aging, the idea of death. You know, death, as we've talked about on this channel before. Well, let me get this freaking grift sorted out, and then I'll talk about death. Let's start Saturday morning with a bit of death chat. Right, you know how it works. You can become a member of the stream. That's the top link in the description. Super chat is the $ at the bottom of the chat. Entropy link in the description, but I'll put the Entropy link in the chat right now. I'm a little bit shaky. I'm not that shaky. I'm doing it to show you, but maybe I should have eaten a bit more before I started. I think I'm going to go out to eat today. I think I might go out and get some nice chicken and pita bread or something. The old chicken and pita bread classic. Right, so I've got that pinned. So Entropy is pinned up there. All right, that's the grift. I don't expect to get rich. There's no salty cracker. I'm not going to say stop donating, but a few quid's always handy. And for the size audience I have, over periods, it balances out rather nicely. I'm very grateful for the donations, and the donations do keep the stream going. I wouldn't be able to justify the time to myself if I wasn't getting a few quid out of it. Even though I love it, that's just the truth. Oi, you! But Chris, we get all the shit stuff out here, really. I think when Kellogg's make cornflakes, they've got a bit where it's like a tray with holes in. So all the smaller ones fall down. Because when you have cornflakes over here and you put them in your bowl, they're all the tiny ones. Really. And I mean it. Haagen-Dazs, which is what my mate calls it. I know it's not called Haagen-Dazs, it's Dazs. But Haagen-Dazs out here, it's like coffee and armchair flavour, carpet and twizzle. You know, the stuff that they tried in the West, and everyone was like, no, give me the caramel. Give me the strawberry shortcake. Not fucking elbow and sweat flavour. So if I was to get some chocolate obnobs, it wouldn't be chocolate. It would be chocolate flavoured candy. They'd just be wrong. And it's kind of disgusting because you get them and you think, oh, that would be nice. Like I got some cream crackers the other day. I thought, oh, cream crackers. Just something not quite right there. I got home, a bit of brie, pickled onion. Oh, that's not meant to taste like it. It was more like a flat Weetabix. Fleetabook. Nice one, Chris, for the $1.79. Is that the price of a pack of hobnobs? Good Lord. No wonder we never had them as kids. Hello, Phil Marshall, Dawn Browning. Hello, Livy. Oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. See it as the beauty. See it as the water that falls from heaven. Yeah, I'm that kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, seriously, it's like it with everything. Super duper. Rarely do they have the same produce. I mean, they have your standards like milk and cornflakes and things. But one week you'll get in there and it'll be like Uncle John's bacon. And it'll be like a brand of bacon you've never heard of. You'll get home, fantastic. And you think, oh, that was some of the best bacon I've ever had. Next week you go in there. No, you'll never see that again because it's just something that they didn't sell in the West. Next week it'll be Mama's unsalted bacon legs. And you're like, ah. And I've got some chicken I've got to throw away. I'll throw it out for the rats and cats a bit later. Yeah, I am a first cornflake kind of guy. Kieran says it's clear as you like, ear in eerie. How do you pronounce it? Ear? Kieran, can you give me the phonetic? Like ear? Do I need to put an Irish accent on? Ear? It's clear as you like, ear and ear. It's probably not like a West Country bit of straw hanging out. Come and sit aside me, you great lump of fertilizer. I come from ear. Oh, okay. Era. I'd love to, Chris, but they go. People go. You will now get a load of comments from people saying, fuck LSDJ. I might drop one in maybe another day. I haven't got it in me today, to be honest with you. I'm shattered. But nice one. Era. Okay, well, there you go. Nice one on the donation there, mate. I finally learnt that over years. Era. Chuck Berry says, don't feed rats. Yeah, but I want to feed the cats because there's loads of wild cats around here. And like when I have a steak and I chop the fat off, I throw it out the window because if I put it in my bin bag, one day there'll be maggots in my bin bag. Even when I finish eating a steak, any grizzly bits that I didn't eat, they go out the window. And I throw them out and it's just like cats. But the rats out here are like that, not including the tail. That's probably because they're living off my ribeye fat, ribeye gristle. Good evening. Welcome to Ribeye Gristle. So era. I learnt that. Well, you'll have to talk to your credit card provider, I'm afraid. Hello, Dax. Been a while. Nice to see you. Well, a lot of people do. There you go. Look, best game ever. Will seems to be a fan. Look, you see, Marzipan. No, 42. Yes. I think that's not a supporter. That's not a supporter. Maybe. I don't know if I've got it in me, really. I'm shisted. I've got to make you wouldn't believe. I can't give you the details because of non-disclosure agreements. No shit. What a weird life that is. Don't tell anyone. Oh, I have to sign them all the time. Marketing stuff. Listen to this. So I've got to do this video, and I've already sent the teaser. And I've said that this teaser, so the actual one will be next week, which is today and tomorrow. And the product, the object of the video, I don't understand. I just don't get it. And I've watched and I've studied, and I've got to do the voiceover. And I don't understand it. Lord knows how I'm going to blag this. I just don't know. Hi. If you look closely, you'll realize I haven't got a fucking clue. Otto's not a fan. Otto. Jess is a fan. Sufis is right next to the sea. How lovely. Oh, well, let's not get political about it. If Kieran wants to call his where he lives era, I think he's allowed to call it what he wants. Apocalypto is suggesting what ratsist? What with the? I think I feed the rats and the cats. In fairness, right. Okay. Yes, this is probably going to be the angle, Kieran. You know what? I'll be honest with you. This isn't going to be in any way amusing, but I'm just going to have to learn it. I'm just going to have to learn, do the work. Didn't want to work over the weekend. I will get my Substack edited. I will get that done. You know, I'm way off the headache. Oh, touch wood. Don't want to be tempting fate with that. But I will get it done. Right, okay. First thing first, we've got to look at this. And I need to know from you, right? I need you to tell me, is this fake? Because I can't believe it. Now, the Vatican cancelled Joe Biden. Oh, yeah. The Vatican had a live stream of Biden. They were live streaming the whole event. And they just went, no, fuck it. Now, I think they done that because they thought he'd be a president, and he was a very sick old man. And they just were like, no. And I'm going to show you the clip, and I'm sure you've all seen it. Has anyone had this? Has this been voice-overed, or is this legit? Dawn, I'm on that, love. I'll just show this clip. Is this real, or is this a voiceover? Because this is, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm sure most of you have seen it, but we'll have a little look. If you haven't seen it, prepare thyselves. Check it.
Thank you for that. He was a famous African-American baseball player in America.
That's right. Apparently, the Pope, who is God's marketing rep on earth, says thanks for that and touches his chest or his cross. And Biden says, you're a famous American basketball player, or something like that. Let's just see it again.
Thank you for that. He was a famous African-American baseball player in America.
Look, I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't know. I don't know if that's real. Maybe the thing he gave the Pope, actually, because if you look, the Pope doesn't touch his cross. He's got something in his hand and he touches it against his really weird costume. And maybe it's a coin to commemorate Magic Johnson or something. And then Biden says he's a famous, maybe it says he's rather than you. Let's see if we can see. I mean, let's be honest. Sorry, I was just watching that on my own. Then that wasn't good, but I'll show you again. I think he actually gives him something, and it's some kind of commemorative coin of some sort. And then I think, and I didn't know this before. I've just thought about it. I think for some reason he's given him like a Magic Johnson $5 coin or something.
Thank you for that. He was a famous African American baseball player in America.
I mean, it doesn't make it any better. Hey, Pope, you heard of Magic Johnson? Yeah. Thanks for that. He was a famous. Anyway, they cut the stream. The Vatican live stream of the president. I think he's going to some G20 thing. Bolsonaro ain't going. Nah. I think Macron ain't going. Loads of people aren't going. I mean, there was a time when the US president went somewhere, everyone would be there. But I reckon they've all gone, nah. It's too awkward. Can't handle it. I don't want to end up on everyone's YouTube channels and TikTok streams standing next to Biden while he goes, have you seen my engines? Phil Marshall Browning says this. We had a storm and I have no power and have had no power for 2 days. I'm not used to the pad, so I'll be shouting your names. My lettuce got a bit smashed, but all the other veggies are okay. Hang on. So your veggies are good. That's good. Good to hear. I'm not used to the pad, so I'll be shouting your names. So capital letters. I'm not quite understanding that bit, but I'm glad you're... a storm's regular out there, and if they are, is there anything you can do to protect your crops? Or is this a bit out of the blue? I don't consider Australia as a place with storms. Nice one on the 10-bit, Dawn. You'll have to clear up the use to the pad. Oh, are you on an iPad or something? And so it's in capitals, maybe? Let's see what people said about the... Oh, hello, mate. Nice one. He gave the Pope back... He gave the Pope back some kids' hair that he borrowed to sniff, apparently, allegedly on Minecraft. Nice one on the same page. That's Mucciano Caprucci Titi. Right. So people are saying it's Al. Thank you for the donation on the same page. Al says fake but funny. Otto says at this point it could be true. Yeah. Fake as fuck. I won't read it out. Looks like a voiceover. Fake. Well, should we have a look? Let's have a say and search. Biden Pope viral video fake. Fake. Here we go. Right, I'll get it up on the screen. I mean, I don't know how much we can trust this newspaper. Oh, hang on, that's a different one. I put pop, not pope. I put pop, not pope. All right, well, let's have a look at this then. I haven't seen the article, but I have got one up. Let's see. Let's find out. Video show. This is from the Associated Press, AP. Video. Oi, get out. You ain't getting a penny from me, you lying bastards. Video shows Biden telling Pope Francis a story. What? Is this another one? Oh, yeah. About Satchel Paige. Claim. Video shows Joe Biden telling Francis, you're the famous American baseball player. AP's assessment, false. In the full video clip released by the Vatican, Biden was telling Pope Francis a parable about aging. Oh, that takes me back to death and Westerns, where he referenced American baseball player Satchel Paige, a black pitcher who played the sport late in his 50s. Oh, so it's like a virtue signaling moment. Joe Biden, after 75 minutes of meeting with the Pope, you're the famous American African baseball player. A Twitter user wrote, misspelling baseball. Okay, so it's just out of context, and so because of that, it sounds peculiar. But you know, there you go. Good fun though, good fun. Not a voiceover, just out of context, but it just shows you how easy. But it did make me laugh. It did make me laugh. There is another one that is worth a watch. So there's this geezer Terry who's standing for re-election, right, for Virginia, which, I mean, it's really kicking off in Virginia with the schools anyway, and elections. But this geezer Terry, for reasons no one knows, when he done his sort of like, you know, rally the other week, he just got into this bizarre dance, and someone sort of put a Biden head on one of the and another figure on it. It's Cotton Eye Joe. But the funniest thing is the actual video. Let me see if I can find the actual video, actually, because that might be more interesting. Right, here we go. This is ridiculous. Hang on, I'm just finding it. I tell you what, Whoopi Goldberg is slowly starting to live up to her name. Man, she's packing it on. I mean, I know it's harder to stay healthy when you get older, but she has ballooned. You know, that was the have a look. But this isn't about Whoopi Goldberg, but check out old Terry when he starts dancing. It's ridiculous. Oops, I think you'll have audio. I'm sure you'll let me know if you haven't.
To dance. Take a look.
Look at him, the man in the whistle there, look. Oh, come on. No, I didn't want a bloody compilation. I wanted to just see Terry. Ah, who can like those witches? Let me see if I can find it. Just a clip of the dancing. It's absurd. Oh, there's just, it would appear people have been dancing like nobody's business. No, you type, it would appear he's been dancing. Anyway, I'll show you this one instead because I've already got it wrapped up. Obviously, the Biden character at the front wasn't there, but personally, I think Terry dancing on his own was just absurd. What is this? Trying to get the young vote? Look at me, I dance. I'm cool. Check it out. I mean, stop it. Stop it. Would you see Senator Kennedy doing that? Would you see Ted Cruz doing that? I don't think you would, because they've got some self-respect and they will not sell their soul for votes. They actually, you know what? I've been pretty much obsessed with Jim Jordan, Thingy Kennedy, and Ted Cruz. I told you yesterday, they're like the founding fathers. Those three. The patriotism bleeds from everything they say. What incredible men. And we could do with a hell of a lot more of them. Yeah. It's a peculiar thing to do. What a weird angle. I mean, surely they've got people advising them. You know, should I dance when I get on the stage? No. No. Just be a man of office. Ridiculous thing to do. Absolutely ridiculous. Quite interestingly, we do have the old body language ghost, and she kicks into Ted Cruz, which we watched the other day, and the Attorney General Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, hello John DW. Merrick Garland has aged about 20 years because I think this this hearing has gone on for 2 days, and he's why just fight, resign, mate, resign, go. But the body language ghost, I've played clips from this woman many times on my channel. She's very good. I've moved it forward a bit. We won't watch it all, but we'll watch a couple of minutes because she's very good. But Garland, Attorney General Garland, I started to feel sorry for him. Not because of what he's done, but just because underneath all that bullshit, he's a man who's and he has to take responsibility for this, but he's a man who's corrupt. He's corrupt. And I get the feeling from him that he wasn't. And Kennedy even said that to him. Kennedy even said he made allusions to the fact that he said, I liked you, you know, and you were a man of principle. I think, I don't know if they're the exact words. I'm kind of paraphrasing. But then he says, but you've changed. And when he said you've changed, I haven't got the clip because I've watched about 10 hours of this stuff. But the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, just looked devastated. He looked like his soul was draining out of him. I'm serious. And I did feel for him because we all make mistakes in life. I'm sure many of us here have been in positions in our lives. I mean, the naked lunch is a perfect. You know, the naked lunch. I think it was either Ginsberg or Kerouac suggested to William Burroughs, to call that novel The Naked Lunch, because he said it's the moment where you realize what's on the end of your fork. And I like that a lot. It's, you know, and how many times I know that the chat is full of junkies, alcoholics, ex-junkies, ex-alcoholics, whatever, people who've had issues, problems, and people who've caused them themselves. You know my thoughts on addiction. It's a choice, a bad choice, and usually many of them. And I am included in that. I have fucked things up. But you know those moments in life where you suddenly realize what you've done and the negative consequences are on you. They're multiplying. It's out of control and it's your fault. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've, in your life, made a series of terrible decisions. You've lied, you've cheated, and rather than fessing up, you've made more lies, you've done more cheating, it's got out of hand, it's snowballed, and there's that moment of clarity where you're like, what the fuck have I done? And as I say it, I know, I can remember those times where I'm nearly going to cry as a grown man because I've let it go totally out of hand, and I've just realized the mess I'm in. There you go. Look, amazing. You know, and it's no surprise. And this is what I see in Garland. So I'm not forgiving it. Well, I am actually going to forgive him but I'm not saying I'm not taking him off the hook, so to speak. But I did see a man who realized when Kennedy was on him, and Ted Cruz to an extent, but Kennedy really done him up. I saw a man who'd realized that the world had realized that he was corrupt, that the world had realized he sold his soul for power, for influence. And it was fucking shocking. You know, he just looked, he looked like death. You know, we'll get back to death because I want to talk about Westerns. It's not a negative thing about death either, but we will get back to that. But nice one, people, for being honest with that. Yeah, likewise. Most of my adult life has been a fucking catastrophe, based on my own selfishness, based on my own wish to put myself before everyone else. You know, but do you when you've been like that? Did you reach a point where you thought, hang on, I don't want to be like this anymore, and turn it round? Because if you've done that, then you have to forgive yourself. That's the first step. You have to forgive yourself. You'll never grow. You'll never get over your own mistakes unless you forgive yourself. And it's one of the hardest things to do. People think you're getting off the hook when you say that. When you say, I've forgiven myself, you know, people are like, fuck off. You don't get to do that. You don't get to forgive yourself, but you do. And it's not easy. It's easy to forgive someone else because you fuck off. I don't think about you anymore. Yeah, you're forgiven. But to forgive yourself and to truly forgive yourself at a profound level where it actually changes your Weltanschauung, your worldview, your belief system, that's hard. You can say it. No, I forgive myself. But then why are you frowning every night when you go to bed? Why did you find... I'll do a little experiment with you in a minute, right? I'll do a little experiment with you in a minute. You'll like it. Right, let's have a look. I've got so many things to catch up on. Right, remind me about death in Westerns. Remind me about the little experiment. Exactly that, Mike. Exactly that. You know what I mean, Chuck? Heartbreaking. I can't imagine what that must be like. But I've been in rehab centers where people, junkies, alcoholics, have lost their children. They've lost them. They've gone to foster care. And they're like, what's the point of me getting clean? They're gone. And it's like, why don't you think about maybe getting clean and trying to get them back? And some of the most amazing stories of people with like a prison record as long as your arm, ended up homeless on the street, eating out of bins, lost their kids, wasn't allowed to see their kids. Took them 10 years from walking in a treatment center, getting clean, getting work, starting a business. Yeah, the bloke I'm talking about, I obviously can't give you details. And in the end, he got his kids back, got them back. Now, damage has been done without a doubt, but he done the best next thing he could. He done the best next thing he could. And as far as I can see, they get on like an house on fire. And it's not like that doesn't let him off. It doesn't let him off for letting down his kids and putting himself up before his kids. It doesn't let him off. But he done the best thing he could with the situation in which he found himself, and he put everything into it. Mind blowing. Would I have the energy and the ability to do that? Don't know. Right. Hello, Max. No, you haven't. Imagine, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? And I've been keeping like data. I've got loads of data. Everything you've said, it's all been collated, and the great digital unconscious of a low rent streamer. Right. Okay. Let's have a little look at the body language ghost and Ted Cruz and Attorney General Deathly Eyes Merrick Garland. We won't watch a lot of it. I've moved it on a bit already. Let me know you've got audio, please. Here we go.
This memo?
Just for a little bit of I love Ted Cruz. Just for a little bit of context, it's the memo that the Attorney General signed off about sending the FBI into schools so that parents have got the fear that they are domestic terrorists for complaining about their kids being taught critical race theory. Nice one, Ian. Machano Caprusci. Yeah, lovely. Keep it dripping in. No problem. I suppose that's what you're referring to. Thank you, Packer. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Ian. So, yeah, this is that memo. We've talked about it all week. So if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, you haven't been paying attention. Hit it, Cruzy.
Was not law. This memo was politics. On Wednesday, September 29th, the National School Board Association wrote a letter to the president asking the president to use the Department of Justice to target parents that were upset at critical race theory.
Can't you just imagine Ted Cruz with like one of those old top hats, like, battling out the Constitution, one of the founding fathers. How are we going to run this show? And they fought, and they fought. It's amazing history to read. I can just see Ted Cruz. I can see Cruz there. I can see Jim Jordan there. And I can see Kennedy there. Anyway, apologies. I'll take it back a little bit so you know where we are.
to the president,
Hello, Loki.
asking the president to use the Department of Justice to target parents that were upset at critical race theory, that were upset at mask mandates in schools, to target them as domestic terrorists. On the face of the letter was,
He's so dead. And I do feel for him. I do feel for him. Yes, Jess. I feel for this fella because he sold his soul. And he didn't used to be like this. I've looked into it. He used to be a good man. He used to be a good man. And this last couple of days, he has had strips ripped off him. Deservedly too. Deservedly too. Yeah, without a doubt, Lomax, because he's an honest man, Ted Cruz. He's an honest man. He's a patriot. He cares about the country. He cares about the people. He cares about America, the idea of America. But this fella doesn't anymore, and he knows it. And it's all coming out. It's all coming out in the wash. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting angle. Don't forget he's been sitting here for a couple of days, though, Zeitgeist, you know. I think you're right. I think he is unrepentant, but you can be that and know the truth. You know, it's damage control. It's damage control at the moment. Anyway, let's see what the body language ghost has got to say, because she's better at it than me.
in repeated consultation with the White House, in explicit political consultation with the White House. That was on Wednesday.
And he continues in that same position. No response other than blinking. So high stress.
September 29th. 5 days later, on Monday, so right after the weekend, boom, you pop out a memo giving them exactly what they want. Now, by the way, I understand that. In politics, that happens all the time. An important special interest wants something. Sir, yes, sir. We're going to listen to him. Let me ask you something, General Garland. In the letter, which you told the House of Representatives was the basis for this abusive memo targeting parents, how many incidents are cited in that memo?
I have to look back through the memo. I can't count it.
You don't know. How many of them were violent?
Again, the general report.
How many of them were violent? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know.
So he's irritated. You see that long blink, turns away. He's irritated. And pretty much throughout this whole thing, he's just dodging questions. And not in the sense of, I'm afraid of him. No, 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 no. The best analogy I can give you is someone who's got their hands tied behind their back and they're working on getting that knot undone and they're deflecting you away from paying attention to it. The knot.
Nice one, Chuck. RMF reckons Garland hasn't aged since taking the position. I disagree, man. I was checking out photos of him yesterday. I think he looks fucking terrible now. That was when he got the job. He looks about 60 odd there. And today, he looks like about 80. But, you know, fair enough. That's your opinion. I appreciate that you don't agree. There's always space for that here. Nice one, Mr. Beret. Appreciate. It's always an option. Hello, historical doppelganger. Good morning to you. Afternoon, etc.
Not being this interaction he had inappropriately with the school board. And you, the audience, not Cruz, you, the audience, is what he's trying to deflect. I think what everyone needs to remember, God, I hope a lot of people watch this part. These people are putting on a show for you. Exactly. They know the people on the stand. They understand explicitly what's going to happen behind the scenes. It is for you. He knows Cruz can't do anything. He's not deflecting because he knows Cruz is going to believe him. He's not stupid. Cruz don't believe that mess. It is for you. In a different arena, behind closed doors, they would be screaming at each other and telling the other one, this is just for you.
I don't agree, Liberty et la Sire. I don't agree. I think, well, the three I just mentioned, for example, Kennedy, Cruz, and Garland, not Garland, Kennedy, Cruz, and Jordan. I trust them. You know, we haven't been in that job. You don't know how much your hands are tied in that position. I think it's a bit easy to just write off government officials. I think there are some good men and women in government. I do. Maybe I just feel like I have to. Hello, Paul. You all right, son? Anyway, let's see where she goes.
There's a reason you don't know. Because you didn't care, and nobody in your office cared to find out. I did a quick count just sitting here. During this hearing, I counted 20 incidents cited. Of the 20, 15 on their face are nonviolent. They involve things like insults. They involve a Nazi salute. That's one of the examples. My God, a parent did a Nazi salute at a school board because he thought the policies were oppressive. General Garland is doing a Nazi salute at an elected official. Is that protected by the First Amendment?
Yes, it is.
Okay. 15 of the 20 on the face of it are not violent. They're not threats of violence. They're parents who are unhappy. Yet, miraculously, when you write a memo, the opening line of your memo in
The Last of Us. Do you honestly think? I mean, I don't know who you're referring to by the controllers. I mean, are you talking? Do you think Ted Cruz is motivated by hate, or do you mean the opposition? I trust him. I trust him. I trust these people. Obviously, not all of them. Yep, agreed. Well, apparently, DeSantis is being tapped up for after Trump's next attempt to become president. There was talk about him becoming vice president, but he doesn't want that. I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily does. I think, you know, if we say things like that, Liberty, if we say things like power corrupts all, then there's no hope left. Because you need a certain element of power if you're going to have government. And if you write that off, and it's like, well, what you're saying is no more hierarchies, and that's what the left want. That's utopianist thinking. You know, if you're going to say that power corrupts everyone, that's well, then you're looking at a utopianist vision of the future, which just ends up with piles of bodies. Yeah, sorry, mate. As I read it again, as I responded, I realised what you meant. Actually, I don't know, John. I don't know. Well, you think Ted Cruz is acting it? You don't think the passion that he's showing is true? I disagree. I think he cares. I think he cares about America. I think he cares about American people, and I think there's a lot of them that do. I think Trump did. I mean, I think you have to be really careful if you're going to write off government as all corrupt, power as all corrupt, because where does that leave you? Where does that leave you in terms of organizing your society? I've got to put the light on. Where does that leave you? You know, what do you want? Some sort of, I don't know where you go from there. Put the old migraine spotlight on. Anyway, let's check about a bit more of this.
recent months, there has been a disturbing spike in harassment, intimidation, and threats of violence. You know what? You didn't look, and nobody on your staff looked. Did you?
Which is quite amazing. I mean, I know we looked at this the other day, but this Garland fella just signed this off. They've apologised for the letter, by the way. Garland hasn't. That's what this is all about. He just went, yeah, all right. There's been this massive spike in intimidation and harassment. Bring in the FBI. This is just a scare tactics. Let parents know that it's fucking dangerous to dare criticise. You know, I watched a Swedish video this morning. I can't remember who sent it to me. It might have been Rags. And it's some Swedish bloke, and he was talking about this girl. I think it was in Virginia again. Fucking Virginia. You got that prancing Terry fella. And she came home, 6 years old. 6 years old. And she came home and said to her mum, Mum, am I evil because I was born white? I tell you what, I haven't got kids yet. If I had a 6-year-old daughter and she come home and said, am I evil because I've been born white? That would be the last day at that school. That would be and it would be my first day at that school, because I'd be fucking down there and I would tear those cunts to pieces. No. I'd sue them. I'd sue them for psychological abuse. How dare you? Fuck you. You know, I'd have to give myself an hour meditation before I went down there, because otherwise I'll be biting out throats. But how dare you tell my kids they're evil? because of the color of their fucking skin. You can fuck off. My 6-year-old daughter. No, they wouldn't get out of that very well. I would tear them to pieces with my eloquence and articulation. That's fucking absurd.
Even look up the 20 instances?
As I testified, the decision to send the memo is for an assessment.
Did you look up the 20 instances?
I did not read.
Did anyone on your staff look them up?
I don't know the answer, but it's not
But
only
of
the
course,
memo.
in general, there's a reason. Look, you started your career as a law clerk to Justice Brennan. You've had many law clerks during the year, during your time as a judge. I was a clerk to Chief Justice Rehnquist. I'll tell you what, if I drafted an opinion for the Chief Justice and walked in and it said, there's a disturbing pattern of violence. Well, Ted, how do you know that? Well, I got an amicus brief here who claims it. You would fire a law clerk who did that. You're the Attorney General of the United States. This was not a tweet you sent. This is a memo to the Federal Bureau of Investigations saying, go investigate parents as domestic terrorists.
That is not.
And he didn't even look at them. He didn't look into them. He just went, oh, yeah, sending the FBI into schools seems about right. Next. You know, he ain't going to lose his job because Miley didn't. They've set the bar so low there. I mean, I'm repeating myself. Anyway, let's see what she says about Garland because it's pretty good.
Not what the memo says at all. It does not.
Is it what the letter says?
That is not what.
Is it what the letter says?
I don't care what the letter says.
You don't care. You said it was the basis of your memo. You testified under oath.
Now, this seems like really heated stuff. Oh my gosh, they're screaming and yelling. He's got his head down. He's becoming so uncomfortable. Oh my goodness. He's really getting him now. Like that is going to change this man's mind. It is time to wake up. Cruz is digging into his butt like a dog on a bone. And that don't matter because he doesn't care. He has his ass in this room, and when he leaves, he's going back to his buddies and doing exactly what he was doing. Because this, again, is for you. It is just for you. He may have lost this battle against Cruz, but you know what? The next arena that goes into, you'll be like, oh, Cruz is a bad man. I think he cheated on his wife. And you'll forget about that. Like what he did to Garland and the fact that he's pointing out the fact that your rights are being taken away from you. Because I swear I live around a bunch of fishbowl fish. You want to impress the world, America? Start remembering what these fools keep doing to you and quit being distracted by the things that they say.
If you'd like to learn more about
amazing, absolutely amazing. Nice one, Matt. Thanks for becoming a member. I don't know what strata you're on. We're yet to do the hero stream this month. I might do it tomorrow. But nice one for becoming a member. You have access to. I don't know what strata you're on, so I can't answer. But nice to have another member on the firm. And what she said is right. Garland doesn't care. That's the he's gone. He's sold his soul. He's the Attorney General. He signed off a memo to send the FBI into schools to scare parents away. Stop criticizing your child's education. I've got to sort out this color. I look like a fucking ghost. I feel like Attorney General Garland there. Yeah, he's just finished. Not interested in America. Not like Ted Cruz is. Right, let's have a go at this. Let's try this one. Bit much. There you go. Lovely. Nice one, Matt, though. That's excellent. Right, what else have I got for you? I wanted to quickly talk to you about death. So, not death, don't worry, this isn't negative. But as we spoke about before on this channel, in the European fairy story tradition, which we all know, we've all read them, we grew up on them. They don't anymore because they're too relevant to European people. They're too relevant to the actual darkness of our past. Walter Benjamin, oh no, he's mentioned a Jewish Marxist from the Frankfurt School. Everyone get down. In his fantastic essay, The Storyteller, Lumi, have a look at it. It's amazing. He talks about the figure of death being as regular as clockwork. He says the figure of death appears as regular as the town clock strikes 12 in European stories. And there never used to be a house you could move into where you didn't know who died in it. We've been through this before. Remember when I read 3 fairy stories, Hans Christian Andersen one, Brothers Grimm one, and I think it was that French fellow whose name I can never remember. 3 different countries. And the figure of death was incredible when you remember these are for children. Do you remember when we done it? And it was like one of the stories, it was like, and so she went back into the forest and he cut off her head. That's how it ended. And there's a reason that, there's a reason that the figure of death is so relevant and prevalent in European fairy stories, because we have a history. All lives have a history of death, but the storytelling tradition of Europe has always been about the big guns. It's always been about birth, experience, honesty, lies, love, and death. We don't fuck about. Someone said they started watching Adam Curtis's Bitter Lake yesterday. There's a bit in Bitter Lake where he touches on this, where he says when the Americans came into the Second World War and were shipped over to Europe, I can't remember the exact line, but he says something along the lines of, the American soldiers didn't have a clue of what a dark place Europe is. And he's not talking about the fucking lack of sunshine. And then this is something to celebrate. I'm not getting at Europe. This is something magical about Europe. This is something magical. It was called the Dark Ages for a reason, and we came out of that. We're part of that. Those traditions, those traditions of kings and queens and castles. They run through our blood. And when you're watching a Western, and remember what a Western is, remember that European people went over there and started making towns, establishing marketplaces, started finding frontiers. And there was a lot of space and there was a lot of time. And I'm going back to, I watched Unforgiven last night. If you came here late, I mentioned it at the beginning. Written and produced by Clint Eastwood, and he's also the protagonist in the movie. And he's fucking brilliant. If you like Westerns, well, if you don't like Westerns, you're missing out, because you've got to kind of understand a bit about watch Once Upon a Time in the West and concentrate. It's one of the most beautiful films ever made. It's not a story of cowboys. It's a story about the origins of America, and it's so beautiful. And what I always see in a Western, a good Western, and it's in The Unforgiven. And in The Unforgiven, it's stretched like an elastic band that's about to go. A good Western will never give you enough dialogue. You spend the whole movie. All good Westerns, you spend the whole movie on edge, just thinking, say it, answer him, explain it, because they don't. And they're major themes. I'll go easy on spoilers, but I imagine most of you have watched Unforgiven. And don't download The Unforgiven, which I did, and it was some South Korean Squid Game, proto Squid Game nonsense. It was shit. But Clint Eastwood's wife died, but before she died, she stopped him being a murdering, gunslinging, hard drinking, whoring cowboy. She sorted him out. They had children, and then the smallpox got her. And there's bits in it when the other characters sort of, hang on a minute, what's happened? Did you go up a strata? I don't know what's happened there. Maybe Matt, let me know what's happened. If you need some kind of refunding or something, I think I can sort that out. I don't know what's happening. But nice to see you've joined twice. Maybe you've become a hero now, which means you'll get on the private stream probably tomorrow. There's questions, and in Hollywood today, it's so fucking boring because, excuse the English, but I have stopped swearing, so it has more gravitas when I use it. They tell you everything. Don't tell me, show me. This is a film. It's not a stage play. It's not, fucking show me. And in The Unforgiven, they're having questions like, he basically asked the bloke if he wanks. He asked Clint Eastwood, because Clint Eastwood says he doesn't have sex. And there's about 4 words. This conversation about how do you get over the death of your wife sexually when you're not seeing whores. That's the situation. And it's about 4 or 5 words, the whole conversation, because these were men. They were men in a particular time who had a particular set of morals and ethics and ways of communicating. Really, and you're sitting there, the whole movie, you're just there going, speak, say it, do it, and they don't. And it's mind-blowing because it just keeps you glued to it. You know, there's other conversations in there where it's just so tense and just wonderful, because what you have to do, you have to fill it in. You have to fill it in with your own experiences. Look, all good stories, no problem, Matt, nice one. I'll see you in the private stream. They are nuts. It's misanthrope, the misanthrope corner. They're good fun. Add to that the technical difficulties. They're brilliant. So look out in your notifications. Look out on my Telegram. Probably a good idea to follow my Telegram, link in the description, or the community tab, because sometimes YouTube don't send them. And if you've paid to see that and you don't get involved, because we get everyone on the screen, well, whoever wants to come on, but the hero stream is only about 10 people, so we pretty much get them all on. It's good. Nice one, Matt. Yes, Colt. And there's that is there. And so I was literally just getting there. And so you have to fill in the gaps. When you write a story, it's not what you write, it's what you leave out that gives it its story. Like music, the silences, the bits where there's no notes are arguably more important than the bits where there's notes. Because if you don't have silence, you lose melody. If you don't have silence, you're going to struggle with harmony. You know, space and time in the Western, in the geography of the place, as well as in the dialogue. And so exactly what Colt said, you know, when they say these 3 or 4 words around these mega, death, sex, murder, you know, honor. I read out that email someone sent me the other day, was talking about being an honorable person. And these are massive, and they grab hold of your heart. And a good Western, and The Unforgiven does it. You have to put your own experience of these situations. And when you're putting your own experiences into the gaps in the dialogue, in the story, more so the dialogue. I think I'm complicating it by talking about story there. But when you put your own experiences into the gaps in the dialogue, in what's not said, it then affects you on a more profound psychological level, because now they're talking to you and they're talking for you, because you've had to invest your own experiences, your own memories into the movie, into the lack of dialogue. And Unforgiven does it like a bastard, the whole movie. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not sitting there like scratching and gritting your teeth or anything, but it's just there, and it's wonderful. And there's an absolutely beautiful symbolic moment. So part of Clint Eastwood's character, when he got married, and the mother of the wife was gutted because she was marrying this murderer, and she thought he'd kill her because he'd killed women, and you find out later he'd killed women and children. He was a gunslinging, hard drinking, hard whoring murderer. You know, he was known all around for it. But when she married him, she stopped him drinking, stopped him killing, had some kids, and changed him. And you can tell he's changed. And then there's the other two are drinking all the way through, and he's not. And then there's this incredible moment where all the tension all along the way, including him getting an absolute iodine, including a whore who gets knifed to pieces. Like, you know, you want revenge, and it's just so protracted. You're thinking, why are you letting this geezer get away with all this? Why won't anyone do anything? And you can't believe it. And it just builds up and builds up, more space, more time, less dialogue. And you're just thinking, for fuck's sake. And there's this moment where the Clint Eastwood character has a drink, right? And the symbology, you know that at that point, it's over. It's over, because he's now who he was before. Just is so good. I sit here on my own. I was just going, because as soon as he had that sip of whiskey, set the mad dog loose. Oh, and good Lord, did he? and they give you it. They give you what you've been waiting for, and it's fucking amazing. And when a movie can make you happy, can make you breathe again through gunning loads of people down, it's achieved something miraculous. When a story can put you in the place of a vengeful murderer, and then, of course, put you in a position to consider that place. Is this right? Is this morally correct? Is revenge a good thing to do? Because you're in his position. So then you're dealing with all those meta narratives. It's fucking brilliant. So I won't be making a review of that because I've just done it. But if you like, even if you don't like Westerns, I'd say it's because you don't understand them. Check out Unforgiven. Anyone here seen it? I've missed a lot of the comments because I was on a bit of a rant there. The grift has been a disaster today. This kind of quality material, shocking. But I want to see what you people have said. Yep, lovely, classic, absolutely classic trope. Yep, without a doubt. Well, I think A Fistful of Dollars was based on Seven Samurai. Someone might want to correct me or confirm that. I've seen it, of course. I've been lining it up for a while because we were singing I was born under a wandering star. Chuck Berry got another bird. Well done. So, well, Matt had to upgrade as well. So, you know, brothers in arms. But that's the comment. That's the comment. He's something else, man. Clint Eastwood is something else. I mean, you know, in Unforgiven, how old must he be? 75 or something? And he pulls it off. He pulls it off. He's a hard man in it. But isn't Clint helping the Mexicans? I don't know what movie you're talking about. Maybe the Mexicans needed help. Thanks. Oh, I like that. Where's that from? Historical Doppelganger. These are good comments, man. Yeah, a very good example, actually. Very, very good example. And you know, the actors, you had to have those actors. Yeah, without a doubt, Andy, without a doubt. Silence is golden. Shame duct tape is only silver. Oh, absolutely heavy stuff. The end. Willow says the end scene is like he conjured back all the evil and retribution he left behind years ago. So you've seen it. It's awesome, isn't it? Willow, did you like it? Did you really like it? Yeah. I've killed just about anything that's walked and cried on this earth. Some of those lines in that last bit, because that's the denouement. That's when they're going, here, this is what we've been this is what we've been dangling in front of you for like an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, go on, you can eat it now. It's fucking awesome. And it's you know what masculinity, what incredible masculinity. And by that, I don't mean murder and aggression, because that isn't the film. The film is leaving that stuff behind. The film is maturing. And yet there's a place for it. There's a place for it. And again, to tell the story and for you to understand. You know, if I said to you, geezer shoots, I don't want to ruin too much of it for people, but, you know, bloke guns down a bar full of people. It's awful. But the storytelling's so good. When it happens, you're like, shit, yeah. And also that was how it was, you know. Hello, Sally. Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. You're stoned already, Marzipan. What are we talking about? Cannabis resin? Hashish flower? Please tell me it's not anything opiate-based, for Lord's sake. Right, I got a couple of more little things to see. What's the time? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. No, I don't want that. What is this? Yeah, this is what I touched on this briefly earlier, but let's have a look at what they actually say, because it's kind of interesting. Well, it is interesting. This is from Trending Politics. Hang on, let me have a little whack of my vape. Whack of my vape. But there you go. Breaking Vatican. If you don't know what that is, that's weirdly... I wonder if Biden said to them, you should get rid of the wall around your city. I didn't think you liked walls, Joe. I bet you didn't. When you were talking about baseball players, I bet you didn't mention that. Here we go. Vatican abruptly cancels live broadcast of Biden meeting with the Pope without explanation. Do we need an explanation? What? I wonder why it's beautiful that they even thought about it. Yeah, we'll live stream it. You know, we're the modern popistry. Well, you know, let's broadcast it. Let's make ourselves, you know, just put it on TikTok. Yay, the kids. And then, of course, he's turned up. He's probably shit himself. He stood like that. And they just probably went, fuck this. This is, you know, imagine him talking to the Pope, just nothing. Have you ever seen a lady with her arm in the air? Who's that? Where am I? And they probably just thought, no, this is awkward as hell. This is shocking. This is embarrassing. Everyone knows there was no need for explanation because it's Bo Jiden, for fuck's sake. There he is. You know what? He's got his hand up there. He's showing you, he's signaling how many times he fell over walking up those stairs. 5. It was 5. I've beat my record. President Biden, oh, do I have to call him by that name? Dropped everything, including dealing with multiple crises at home, to jet abroad to Europe for summits in Rome, Italy, Glasgow, Scotland. I had to tell you where it was. And presumably it would be more popular than he currently is at home. But a strange thing happened on Thursday when the Pope suddenly cancelled a live broadcast with the US president without providing an explanation, the Washington Post reported on the odd occurrence. The Vatican on Thursday abruptly cancelled the planned live broadcast of US President Joe Biden meeting Pope Francis, the latest restriction to media coverage of the Holy See. The Vatican press office provided no explanation for why the live broadcast of Biden's visit has been trimmed to cover just the arrival of the president's motorcade in the courtyard of the Apostolic Palace, where a Vatican Monsignor will greet him. So they literally had his motorcade turn up. Stop there. just cars. Oh, good Lord. John D. Yeah, they just had the cars. It's ridiculous. Yeah, let me just show you this one. Oh, look, there's all my hard work. Oh, you're seeing the bare bones of how I get this stuff done. Little bit of this. I am going to start streaming on streaming. I'm not streaming anything. I am going to start streaming on OBS soon, so that entropy donations go on the screen. John DW. John, thank you, John, for the donation. I'm as rough as a badger's arse this morning. Good Lord, John. What is it? The demon drink? Is it the demon drink, John? You'll be all right. A couple more days. Cancelled was any live coverage of Biden actually greeting Francis in the palace throne room, as well as the live footage of the two men sitting down to begin their private talk in Francis' library, at which time the cameras would normally have stopped running. The Vatican said it would provide edited footage of the encounter after the fact to accredited media. Now, we can fuck all this next bit, but there's a interesting bit here. Right. President Biden is slated, that's a strange choice of words, is slated to go to the G20 meetings overseas, along with leaders of Argentina, Australia, Canada, Britain, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, South Korea, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the EU. However, multiple G20 leaders will be skipping this summit to attend to issues back home. The irony being, of course, out of all the leaders who's got issues back home, you'll think it was Bo Biden. But check out the people who are giving no fucks about Bo. Russian President Vladimir Putin, Japan's new Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, and Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. They've all announced they definitely will not attend, although they may virtually attend. Other leaders not expected to attend include the Chinese President Jinping and Jair Bolsonaro. There's my girlfriend's standard midstream call. Let me get it on my blower. Just not going. People have no interest in this man. Hello, love. I'm making a video.
Halloween.
Pardon?
Today Halloween?
I think it is Halloween. Not today. No. Let me see. Sorry, people. You know this is going to happen. She knows I'm streaming.
Sorry, people. Say
it again.
Sorry, my friends.
Say sorry.
Sorry, my friends. Sorry, people.
You can't say sorry, my friends.
Friend me?
But you're interrupting the flow. It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
I'll go tomorrow.
Darling, nothing happens. There's nothing open here. What? No one's doing any Halloween in Phnom Penh. This is fucking Cambodia. You're the only Cambodian talking about Halloween. Listen, when you come, we'll have our own Halloween. I'll make some of those. I'll make some of those, yeah?
Yeah, go holiday?
Yeah, we're going on holiday, yes.
Okay.
All right, love. I'll talk to you a bit later.
Bye-bye, love.
Bye, love. Love you. You look beautiful today.
I love you.
I know you do. Bye. Sorry about that. Halloween. What? I don't even know if she knows about it. Yeah, she did say Halloween. Halloween. But I don't know if I told you this. A subscriber, he might be watching now. He turns up occasionally. He donated £1,000 for me to take her on holiday. And so we're going on holiday. But I did put the other half of it into her house. But incredible. She's lovely. Right, so Halloween tomorrow. Anyone here are you getting busy with Halloween, people? All I see is it's just when I lived in Soho, it was just nurses and doctors with blood on them. Is that it now? But the nurses were all sexy. It's kind of incredible that all the social justice crowd goes, you can't dress up as this, you can't dress up as this, you can't dress up as this, you can't dress up as this. All that was left for women was whores. Apparently, if you've got a bit of blood coming out your lip, you can dress up as a prostitute. There's such an amazing backfire for the social justice crowd. Oh no, it's incredible. I mean, this was going back a while. This was last year, but yeah, really, really nice bloke. Yeah. And I give him like a cooling down period. I was like, look, I won't do anything with that money for 30 days. So if you regret it, and he was like, no, I've thought about this a lot, but I put half of it into her house so she could make some changes to the house, and I'm going to take her away for a few days next week. Oh my days. Halloween is the anniversary of my missus. 12 years tomorrow. I think Harry Houdini was born on Halloween. He might have died there, so either or. Daughter is tired of being woken up with various masks and Halloween music. Bored of it. Yeah, but Will, she would never have had any of this as a kid. You know, they lived on the streets. So I can't imagine them. And also, this is all new to them because social media over the last few years. You know, I'll grab a couple of pumpkins, I'll cut some faces in and put a candle in it, and I'm sure she'll be over the moon. You know, you've got to remember the life that girl's had. It hasn't been pleasant. You know, she saw her sister get sold. A dog got it the other day. The bloke put it in the car to take home to eat. You know, she used to have to go round Phnom Penh when she was 6 years old, wearing rags, collecting plastic bottles so she could maybe get $1 to buy some rice. I'll do anything. If it makes her happy, I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I don't have a lot of money, but I don't buy anything either. So the money I do earn, pretty much I give to her and her family. And it's changed their lives. I built them an house. You've got to do a pumpkin. You've got to. Are you doing one, Sal? I know. It is exactly. I think that's kind of important. Mouse Cat's off tonight. Off. Well, you'll probably come out off in, back, home later. I don't know if I saved myself. I'm going to a party tonight. Wanted a full SS officer uniform, so I could be a zombie Nazi. But because of possible upsets, I'm going as a Joker instead. How interesting. So you can't go as a historical murderer, but you can go as a present day murderer. Hello, Mark. We've played your song a few times. I mean, since you're here, it might deserve another run through. Let me see if I can, dare I say, get it up. Where is it? There it is. I've always got it there, waiting for you. So, people, you might remember we had a little cut of the real Danny G on, and he was in the gym, and he went, so don't forget, right? Down, up, squeeze. Down, up, squeeze. And at the end, he went, I'm squeezing it, you know, like you would looking in a mirror. And I said, that needs a beat behind it. And I knew that Mark had done that kind of thing before, and he come through. And if you haven't heard it, hello, Gaffney. If you haven't heard it, we'll play it again. It's awesome. Turn it up, people. Turn it up.
Down, up, squeeze, yeah. I'm squeezing, yeah. Squeeze, yeah. I'm squeezing, look. yeah, down, up, squeeze, yeah, down, up, squeeze, let's go, down, up, squeeze, yeah, 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 down, up, squeeze. My arms, you can see my arms around 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 my arms, you can see me squeezing. Like, you can actually see it through my top. So when some people are like, yeah, you ain't squeezing. I'm squeezing, bro. I'm tensing my chest like you would in a mirror.
Okay, have you all got that?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's awesome, Mark. I never tire of hearing it. I'm going to try and get the fella on. I'll get that email sent out today. I don't think I've been nasty to him for a long time. If I can get him on. But if I get him on, I'm not going to get him on to... You know, I want to find out what made him. Oh, Chuck, you were warned plenty of times. Good Lord. So you actually tried it on. Yeah, you need to be careful with that sort of stuff. You know, you go out in the streets, you know, let's not forget it's okay to punch a Nazi. And I'm sure someone would have done. You know. Jess, have you not heard it before, Jess? Right, what else have I got for you? I'm sure I've got a couple of other things lined up of interest. I think you're probably a bit bored of the Attorney General stuff. So let's just have a look again at this insane idea that Tucker Carlson described as the craziest thing he'd ever seen. Because I've got something to say about it, and it was what Salty Cracker said as well. So let's just recap on this absolute insanity, but I will shed some light on it. This is from Fox News' The Five.
Growing outrage over a reported plan to give cold, hard cash to illegal border crossers. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Biden administration is in talks to pay up to $1 billion to illegal immigrant families separated at the border under former President Trump's zero tolerance policy, with each person set to get a payout of up to $450,000. Republicans say that plan cannot move forward.
Now, the funny thing is, I've actually heard and read from other sources that even surprisingly, even there are leftists and Biden supporters, Democrats, who are like, yeah, and why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't that make them? You know, surely they've got a heart somewhere left in that. You know, take it out of the fridge, mate. Stick it back in your stomach and start actually caring about your fucking country. Chuck, squeeze, mate. Squeeze like you would if you were looking in a mirror. Yeah? So check it out. Here's old Jim Jordan, right?
First, you break the law, you get amnesty with Democrats. Now they're going to pay you for breaking the law. I mean, you think we have a problem in a caravan coming towards the border now and what we've seen over the last several months. Wait until the word gets out that you actually get paid for breaking the law to come into our country.
This incomprehensibly stupid idea of passing out up to $500,000 to people whose first act in this country was a violation of our law makes no sense at all.
That is going to be a slap in the face to every hardworking American who works hard and plays by the rules, and it'll especially be a slap.
I think DeSantis will make a great president, I must admit, but he needs a bit more time. He's a bit too young at the moment, needs a bit more experience, a slightly higher ranking gig, but not VP for sure.
In the face to people that have immigrated legally to this country.
Did you not know about this, Lomax?
Congressman Dan Crenshaw tweeting for
Lomax, they're talking about giving them $500,000, and a family can get up to $1 million. $1 million. If they got in illegally. Not imagine if you got in legally, you waited, you filled in the forms, you stayed in fucking Honduras or wherever it was. You know, you waited 4 or 5 years, you jumped through all the hoops, you got in. Well, your next door neighbours who just fucking hopped over the wall and trafficked kids and dumped the kids when they got over the border after raping them. No, they're getting $1 million. $1 million. However, you'll hear my little breakdown in un momento.
Perspective. If a service member is killed in action, their next of kin gets an insurance payment of $400,000. Let that sink in. And dozens of House Republicans just sent a letter to 3 cabinet secretaries behind the reported plan demanding answers. Jesse, I'm guessing, because you brought this up yesterday, we weren't sure if it was the Babylon Bee or if it was real.
Yeah.
It's real, it sounds
Biden's
like.
border policy is written by the Babylon Bee. He pays you to break the law, and then he bails you out, remember, if you break the law. And
right, so you get the idea. So this is what Salty Cracker said, and I think he's right. There's no way this goes through. There's no way this goes through. The left want free shit, but this will not go through, right? But as Salty Cracker said, this is a bat signal, which I suppose is a kind of a dog whistle. I get confused with all these things. A bit old. I'm getting a bit old for memes, but this is a bat signal to the people of South America. This is to say, look at how we are. Look at the type of administration we are. Has there ever been a better time to come to America? You know, have you seen the caravans? Get on them, get busy. There's never been a better time. The southern border's open. They've seen the clips of Bo Biden saying we want a continual stream of immigrants. Caucasians, people of European descent will become a minority, and that's a good thing. He said that much like that German Chancellor Bird did. Remember that when she said that? It's a good thing, and the whole world went, oh. This is just to encourage more illegal border crossing. And why? Because then they're going to vote for the Democrats, and you'll never have another Republican government. Because if you can bring in millions and millions of people who are reliant on you, you know, these people. I heard yesterday that many of the people that are coming over the border can't even speak their own language. There was a gang of Hondurans got caught up in some kind of, I don't know, kerfuffle, we'll say, and they couldn't even speak Honduran. Like, what? Or Spanish, whatever it is. You know, then these lawyers, doctors, and engineers, come on, we know that's nonsense. And so they're bringing people in who will be utterly dependent on the state. And if you bring people in who require the state for a house, require the state for their Medicare, their Medicaid, whatever, require the state for their 20 kids' education, require the state for food stamps, they are dependent on the state. These are the people the Biden administration wants in America. They want state-dependent people, and they want millions of them for the simple reason that they don't vote for the Republicans, because the Republicans, I said it yesterday, it's a fucking hard sell when you've got a Democrat party saying we're going to put $3.5 trillion. Yeah. Here it comes. You know, never mind, you're going to have to go to the supermarket with 4 carrier bags of dollars to buy a currant bun. You know, they want state-dependent people. And the Republicans are going to be like, look, because of the mess we're inheriting, we're probably going to have to put taxes up. We're going to, you know, we've got infrastructure to think about. We've got rampant high inflation on the back of this lot. And then you've got the Democrats still going, no, free schooling, you know, we might even give you $1 million. Free food, state dependence. This is what they want. They want to replace, now hang on, Susan, steady on. They want to replace independent, hard-working, non-state dependent people with state dependence. That's the new utopianist America. This is what leftist utopianist governments have always wanted. You know, the left is about huge government. It's got its hands in every pocket of your trousers of life. and this is just a fact. They want to replace the current American individual with a swarm of state dependents. And so this, we're going to give you $1 million. This is now, you know, you got 3 years. You got 3 years. You scratch our backs and come in, we'll scratch your backs. And, you know, don't think that this isn't connected with what happened last year. Don't think this isn't connected with mandates. Don't think this isn't connected with small businesses just collapsing. SMEs, small to medium enterprises, disappearing like that. I mean, I think 9 out of 10 fail anyway. But all the others that once in a while were the cogs of the engine of the state. You know, small to medium enterprise is like the fuel of a nation. So all of them in last year's riot, smash that up. Things like what happened in Portland. Get rid of small to medium enterprise businesses. Let the corporations come in. I think Amazon already has 50% of the consumer durable market. I mean, think about that. So fuck all these independent people who've got off their asses, made their life count, you know, worked, took risks. If you've got a business, you don't take one risk. It's a risk all the time. It's always a risk in business. You don't suddenly plateau and go, we've done it, we're rich. No, because you've got competitors who are then reinvesting their money, so you have to reinvest yours. It's a continual risk. Entrepreneurship takes balls of steel. And they don't want those people. They want mega corporations to run the place. They want Amazon, they want Apple, they want Walmart. They don't want John's fucking chip shop. They want state dependence. And that's what this is about. This is never going through. This is la la land that they're going to give people this amount of money. You know, they've said $1 billion. How many fucking illegal immigrants do they think they've? I can't remember what it was yesterday. I was watching some left wing news report, and it called them something like illegal. No, what was it? It was something like illegal enterers. Just what's wrong with illegal alien, illegal immigrant? I mean, it's not personal, but they are illegally immigrating. But no, this is just to motivate more South Americans to join these caravans. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I'm calling it. Watch that caravan multiply in a way you've never seen. That's what all this is about. This caravan, I think this caravan might go on for a couple of years. Serious. I don't think we're going to just see this one sort of stream and a few weeks later it sort of peters out a bit. I think we are on the verge of South America moving to the United States. And I mean that. Now, don't I think that, as a few people have said in the chat, this is such an incredible overreach. You know, if they had half a brain, they would have stretched this stuff out over 4 years. But it's too much too soon, and I think it's going to explode in their faces. You know, I think Biden's rating's down to something stupid like 28%. You know, it's numbers that we've never seen, even during like Nixon and Watergate. But yeah, this is, they are looking for an essential south to north continental shift of labor. And keep an eye on that caravan. It ain't gonna peter out. It might. There's always that option. But this kind of, as Salty Cracker said, bat signal. These are intended to tell the South Americans this is the best time. This is the best time for you to come. Get on it quickly, because we're falling apart. And I mean, it's absolutely absurd. You know, they hate America. I know that I'm going round in circles with this. We had it yesterday. I was so reassured to see that Jim Jordan and Tucker Carlson both just got left with this is madness, because I'm stuck there. That's it. I think this is let's replace the independent American with state dependence. This is what's happening. And we have got problems in Europe, without a doubt. But at the moment, I think it pales in comparison to the problems they've got in the US. I really do. Because don't forget, the US is the global currency. I mean, fuck me. Right, I've got something a bit funny and shocking for you. If you haven't seen this, prepare yourself. It's quite subtle, but you'll get it. Woman turns up at another parents and teachers. In England, we call them PTAs. I never know what they're called in America. Woman turns up to condemn them for the bullshit they're teaching her kid, right? The woman hosting the panel says your time's up. But then she gets a bit hot mic'd and says something else. Check it. I mean, if she doesn't lose her job, I think I know what she's going to do, but we'll get to that in a minute. Check this out.
Kind of like Scott just said, we are selfish for being vocal. Scott, we are vocal because we are our children's biggest advocates. Okay? Choose your own path, Scott. Choose your own path. That was very rude of you to say parents are selfish. You say
Margaret's next. Thank you. Your time's up. Fuck you.
Wait. Oh, yes, you heard right. Yes, you heard right. I think she's going to palm that off as thank you. But under her breath, hello, Sezu. Under her breath, nice one, Rags. A few thumbs up will be handy. She says, fuck you. I've listened to it 1,000 times. She says, fuck you. Listen again. This is from mad old Steve Turley. But he goes through it a few times.
Fuck you.
Wait, what was that?
Fuck you.
You didn't just say what I thought you said, did you?
Fuck you.
You did. You, the school board president, actually told a parent.
And there it is. California school board president is caught on mic saying "fuck you" to concerned parent who questioned vaccines. Which I've got to be careful about all that stuff. I give no opinion on vaccines. I am not. That's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely amazing. Fuck you. She said thanks, Brandon. I mean, that's mind blowing. Why did she even say that? Look, I have a fair understanding of how the conscious and unconscious mind works. I think she wanted that to get out. That is almost like a parapraxis, which is a slightly more convoluted Freudian slip. She was on a mic. She knew she was on a mic. Fuck you. 1 in the chat if you reckon she's going to say I said thank you. 2 in the chat if you reckon she's going to put her hand up and said I said fuck you. It's too good, man. It's too good. No, without a doubt. I mean, he's mad as a box of frogs, but I love his eternal hope. You lose hope, it's over, and I tap into Dr. Steve Turley's hope. But it sometimes is a little bit cloying. But I do watch it. It's too good, isn't it? Look at all those ones. Yeah, she's gonna lie, isn't she? Fuck you to a parent. To a parent. I mean, this is it's just there. We'll have a little bit more of old Dr. Steve Turley because he's quite a funny old teddy bear.
F you. In this video, we're going to take a look at the fallout from that school board meeting. We're going to find out she actually did it again. It gets even worse. She did it again. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal what's really behind these explosive school board meetings. And we're also going to see Senator Josh Hawley crush our babbling attorney general on behalf of parents all across the country. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you as always. Before we dive into this cringeworthy embarrassment, as you probably heard, I announced yesterday I'm headed to Phoenix, Arizona on the American.
Come on. I don't think I'll be getting there.
half-off special, which expires at midnight tomorrow. Always known what the political class thinks of us, haven't we? We've always known the disdain, the contempt, the scorn and derision that the permanent political class has for the odious masses that think their opinion counts for something, that their ignorant and superstitious and uneducated beliefs have any contribution whatsoever to how we're going to be ruled. But boy, oh boy, did the good people of Los Alamitos United School District get an earful of it. As you know, all across the country, parents are rising up and taking back control of the curriculum that's being taught in our schools, which of course is their right as the taxpaying citizens of those schools. But one group of parents were told precisely what so many of these school boards apparently think of that attempt to wrestle away control of the schools from them. Just the other day, speaking before the Los Alamitos School Board, a mother by the...
Well, you know the rest. He's a funny old bloke. If you're not subscribed to Steve Turley, it's good information, and he does. It's out every day. Yeah, that's interesting. They've got to do something, because I mean, I just don't. I'm round in circles with this. We've got to a point now. You've got senators saying this is just madness. What was it Jordan said? I haven't seen this stuff in this town before. Look, I know I've been thrashing the Attorney General. I know that, but it is definitely checking out John Kennedy. It's definitely worth checking out John Kennedy, talking to him. I love John Kennedy. He's got his own YouTube channel, like Ted Cruz. They're brilliant. Here's a bit of Kennedy getting at the Attorney General. The Attorney General's got to go. This is absolute nonsense. But I just like these people. Again, I'm getting kind of romantic. It's sort of romanticizing them as the men that made. Are they playing now? What's the score? Check out John Kennedy talking to Merrick Garland. Let me know you've got audio, please. I've moved it on a bit.
Not threatening anyone, just on the theory that repeated telephone calls could be harassment.
Good stuff.
Really?
Likewise, Meganese.
I haven't seen that memorandum. I've tried to express as clearly as I can here.
Thank you.
I heard you, General, but this is one of your U.S. attorneys.
Again, I haven't seen.
Isn't that special? General, you're just a vessel.
Sure.
Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about.
Can we just look at him? Look at Garland. Can we just listen to what John Kennedy says? You're just a vessel. What an incredible insult. You're an empty shell of a man that's just got bullshit rising up through you. It's got nothing to do with you, and then it comes out your mouth and it's your signature. He said it. You're just a vessel. I mean, it's such a bitch slap. It's incredible. Hello, Linda. All my days, Linda said there was an explosion in the bush across the river from my little neighborhood. It shook her houses and started a fire. Can still see the embers glowing. Good Lord, Linda. I do hope you're all right. What a time you've had of things recently. I'm assuming you and the daughter are over your car crash now. Is that all in the past? Okay, Marzipan says, some exciting fights in tonight's UFC, 5 p.m. Yeah, it works out quite nice for me usually. 5 p.m. in... that's not so good. That's the way. I'll be up working. I've got to do this fucking video, which means I can't watch anything because my computer screens will be used. But I might start it after this. I think I'll do the hero stream tomorrow. I've got to get this video done. I'm terrified about it. Anyway, sorry, people. Thank you for the Arsenal score. Back to John Kennedy calling the Attorney General, and the way he says it, you're just a vessel. It's awesome. It's awesome.
General, you're just a vessel. Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. With respect to the National School Boards Association letter, you're just a vessel, aren't you?
Look, but leaving him to answer is not even rhetorical. You're just a vessel, aren't you? Silence. It's incredible. It's incredible.
You're just a vessel, aren't you?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I signed.
Well, every other cunt does, you dozy fucker. The rest of the world does. Hello, long sight. Judge, sorry, I've got to see it again. Sorry, I want both vessel comments.
School Boards Association letter, you're just a vessel, aren't you?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I signed this memorandum. I worked on this memorandum, and this memorandum is my memorandum.
Well, let me tell you what I mean. We know that the National School Board Association was upset because parents were coming to school board meetings to object to the teaching of critical race theory. We know that in drafting the letter, the National School Board Association collaborated with the White House for several weeks. They worked on it together. And we know that the National School Board Association, once the White House and the association were happy with the letter, the National School Board Association sent the letter to the White House, and the White House promptly called you and said, sick the FBI on parents at school board hearings.
Which, I know we've gone over this, but this is madness. Listen to what just happened. And what did this vessel do? Signed it, done it.
And that's what I mean. That the White House is the prophet here. You're just the vessel. Isn't that correct?
Senator, I did not speak with anyone from the White House as when I worked on this memorandum. This memorandum reflects my views that we need to protect public officials from violence and threats of violence, while at the same time protecting parents' ability to object to policies.
Right. I get that. I've heard your testimony. Were you worried that you would be fired if you didn't issue the memorandum?
Senator, I'm not.
You fucking should be, mate, because you're in all sorts of trouble.
I decided on this memorandum on my own. I don't care.
No, Rags, he didn't. He didn't. That's been established. It's been established. He even said it.
I said from the very beginning, I've taken this job to protect the Department of Justice, to make independent determinations with respect to prosecutions and investigations, and I will do that.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about
sorry to interrupt, General, but I don't have much time.
It's so good.
Now, when you got the letter from the White House that prompted your memorandum to give the FBI new duties in making sure our parents aren't dangerous domestic terrorists.
I mean, look, it's just madness that this has even happened. It's a madness that this, yes, ugly truth. That's what happened after they covered it up. It's since gone to court. It's been found out that they did cover it up. They sent the kid to another school. He wears a dress again, goes into another girl's toilet and rapes another child. And that has all been now established in court. It's bullshit. And this is madness. I mean, it's almost like we've become so used to the police state that, this is also, it almost passes you by. Oh no, the FBI are now involved in Parent Teachers Association meetings. But when you just stop to think about that, I mean, it's what the FBI. This is Men in Black, is it? They're now at PTA meetings. Signed off by the Attorney General. It's barking mad. It's at the same level as an administration that says they're going to give illegal immigrants millions of dollars. It's at the same level as of an administration that says they want a continual stream of immigrants. It's at the same level of all the other utter madness these leftist utopianists conjure up fuck knows when, in their sleep maybe. It's absurd.
You didn't investigate before you issued your memorandum the incidences cited in the letter, did you?
Look, I took a statement by the National Association, which represents thousands of school board members, when they said that they were facing violence and threats of violence.
You just believed it.
I saw in the news media reports.
He actually said it. When I saw CNN say it, the Attorney General now admits. I mean, this is the contempt they have for people. He's just said in an official investigation, he just said that when he saw on the news, oh, okay, that's a reliable source. I mean, maybe you could have, I don't know, investigated it. Have you not got those tools at your disposal? Being the Attorney General of the United States, I would have thought you might have had. But oh no, when you saw MSNBC, it's just like you're off your heads. The whole thing is an absolute fucking circus. Listen to that bit again, because Kennedy just interrupts him as soon as he gets to the bit where he says, I heard it on the news. You fucking donut.
Which represents thousands of school board members, when they said that they were facing violence and threats of violence, and when I saw in the news media reports.
Yeah, but you didn't investigate the incidents in the letter, did you?
No, this is the first step. This is an assessment step. It comes before
Saw it
investigation.
on the news.
Right. Before you issued your memo, you didn't investigate the incidents.
The memo is intended to begin assessments. It is intended.
And in fact, most of the incidents in the letter did not involve threats of violence, did they?
It's funny how the memo is the first step, and yet the FBI did turn up at schools. I mean, that's quite a first step, isn't it?
I think that's correct. Most of them did not,
Yeah.
and they would not be covered by either federal or state law. I agree with that, and they would be protected by the First Amendment. But threats of violence are not covered by the.
Can we agree that we have thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of kids growing up today who are more likely to commit a crime than and go to jail than own a home or get married?
I don't know about the comparative statistics. I do know there are too many.
Oh, maybe you should have watched the news.
People who are committing crime.
And one of the reasons for that is lack of parental involvement, isn't it?
I think parental involvement is essential. I think it's the key both to bringing up good kids.
So why do you want to issue a memorandum listing incidents that you didn't investigate, that anybody who has any fair-minded knowledge of the world knows is going to have a chilling effect on parental involvement with respect to what their kids are learning at school?
And that is the bottom line. And that's what all this has been about. Just scare the parents out of it. You know, they've got so much other stuff going on. Scare parents out. Much like that we're going to give millions of dollars to illegal immigrants get in our country. It's a similar thing. It's a bat signal. It's a dog whistle. It's a bat whistle. It's a dog signal. Call it what you want. It's just like, you come to our schools, you come to our PTA meetings. Bear in mind, we've got a woman who said "fuck you" twice. And that's how much they think of you. If you come to them, you might go on a domestic terrorism list. I mean, I'll tell you what, in Manchester today, listen to this. In Manchester today, they've got the Iron Man run, right? Loads of men running along, and they're doing it in Manchester City. And the security firm they've hired for that is the same security firm that was used for the Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, who chose not to search the backpack of a man of North American origin who was praying at the time at the gig at Ariana Grande concert for kids. They said they thought it would appear racist to check the massive backpack on a man who was praying at the gig. So they're doing the Iron Man today. And by the way, on the back of the Iron Man, the American Secret Services, special services, call them what you want. I think they hang around schools these days. They've said to English authorities, be aware over the Halloween weekend of large groups of people. You know, there's a slight risk of there's a slight increase of the terror threat. What does that mean? What does that mean? Don't go near big groups. Okay, or do, or when you're there, just get your Ghostbusters little and see if you can detect anything that might, I don't know, explode. Absurd, absolutely absurd. Well, I do apologise for. It feels like it's been the grift has been a shocker, but that's all right. We had a good time yesterday. I will be streaming later, probably about 4 o'clock. If I'm a bit late, it's because I'm going to try and get this work done. I might do. Oh, history, bro! You were brilliant on the Critical Drinker. Absolutely loved it. I mean, I love his channel anyway, and I love your channel. So the pair of you together was a great watch. And there was a noticeable difference in your behaviour pre-neat Jack Daniels and post-drinking neat Jack Daniels. But a cracking show, man. Really entertaining. I mean, I'm a real fan of war movies anyway. So, yeah, really good. Really, really good. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you have a good weekend. People, thank you all for joining in. Listen. Whoa. Listen, let me just say this. Subscribe to my Substack. That news story is almost ready. The migraine has put it off, but link in the description. It will never be monetized. I know I have been focusing on America a lot, but there's a lot going on there. And I know I've been focusing on the Garland Inquisition. There'll be no more of that. That's the end. I mean, I just find it, insanity that's going on out there at the moment. But it is Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. I'll see you about 4 o'clock UK time for a couple more hours of wonderful, absolutely wonderful entertainment. Take care, people. Lots of love. Bless you all. Ta-da. Hit it, Mumford. Can't do it, Steve. I ain't got it in me, mate. I don't know, actually. Venkman had one, didn't he? Cheers, Alan. Nice one, mate. Oh, fuck. Next time. Sorry, Lomax.
All my friends are sick of having me around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break. Can't go on a taking all a man can take. Life is a curse, it only gets worse in the world and watch you drown.
We can't do it anymore, man.
I fail to ever find the point. I'm going deep down.
Nice one, Packer.
Gonna make my grave underneath the wave.
Hello, mate. You all right, mate?
Down underwater.
Have a good weekend, Alan.
Lay my head on the riverbed. Looking back, I rejected every place I stayed.
Well, that's kind of my angle, guys, Have a good weekend, mate. Cheers, Sal.
Warriors don't give up before the war begins.
See you later, MSM.
So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad and people get sad, but at least they have a cause. I struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going going deep, deep down underwater.
Likewise,
Gonna
Honey
make
Monster.
my grave
Absolutely,
underneath
says
the
who.
wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed.
Spectrometer, that rings a bell. Good call. Cheers, John. Nice one, mate. Bonnie lad streaming at 8. I'll be on about 4 UK time. Get on my Substack, people. Yeah, it was great. I don't remember there being a racial issue even. It wasn't even mentioned, was it?
I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave.
Nice one, Alan. Oh, yeah. Oh, whoa. Massive, actually, really important, massive thank you to everyone who talked about the nightlight. I set it up last night. What an immediate difference. So a few people mentioned that. Really excellent. Thank you so much. That's changed everything. It's changed my working life, my streaming life, my writing, which is pretty much my life, the three of them. So thank you very much, people. That was a great tip.
Deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna make my grave underneath the
Tomorrow night, Rags is back on Scott Samore, 8:30. Nah, it's brilliant, man. Okay, you lovely little bastards. I'll see you about 4 o'clock, and I will not be focusing on the Garland interrogation. I don't know what we'll do. Maybe I'll do something a bit different. Probably not. Ta-da!